Welcome to another episode of the Nesty Things. My name is Sean Riku.
It's Yumiko.
And this here is Wesley.
Hi.
Also known as MC Sonorous. Tell me, how'd you get that name?
All right. So, are you guys big Harry Potter fan?
Yes.
Okay. So, in a Goblet of Fire, right? Basically, when they were having the Quidditch World Cup, the commentator for the match tapped his throat with his wand, and he uttered the spell Sonorous, and his voice amplified through the stadium. Yes, and also sonorous in Latin means a meaningfully deep and imposing sound.
Ooh, he did the work. He put the research in his name.
Yeah, but also shows that you don't watch Harry Potter.
I don't.
Huh?
No.
Blasphemy.
I got no hair idea. I watch Harry Potter for it. Just kidding. Just kidding. That doesn't matter because in this episode, I want to dive in a little deeper into a topic that is near and dear to my heart and also yours as well, which is why you're the perfect guest for this on the show. We're going to talk about diabetes.
Baby, won't you talk to me?
So I am a type 2 diabetic. He is also a type 2 diabetic. I don't know how much you know about diabetes, but if there's any question that you're not sure about diabetes, feel free to ask us. Based on our knowledge and our journey, we can try to help you out with that.
I've got 10 questions.
Damn, you got so many.
Okay.
But I also want to know his...
Of
'cause
course.
What's very interesting for Wesley is that Wesley is a hype man in the club. He's the MC in nightlife. He's also a producer for a YouTube channel. Tropic Monster, shout out. But also, you are a type 2 diabetic. I would like to know, how did that start around? Like, when did you find out you were diagnosed? What was the journey like from the get-go?
I think for me, it was more of like, okay, when I was 17, when I was studying and everything, my mom used to send me for like regular health checkups because coming from a line of diabetics, I mean, she's diabetic herself as well.
Oh, okay.
So she got worried because usually the firstborn usually gets all the problems, right?
Yeah.
Right? Emotionally, mentally,
Yes,
physically.
yes.
So the thing is that one day I think they mentioned that, your blood sugar level during a random routine check was like pretty high. It was like 23. Yeah. And well, was that like a congratulations?
23.
23 is a lot. Yeah. So the normal range is, just for information, normal range is 4 to 6.
Ah, right. And
Yeah.
this is over what? Like 23, over 50, 23?
No, there's no over.
You're supposed to stay around 4 to 6.
I see. Okay.
So number 4 to 6, we surprised double digit.
Yeah, 23 is very high.
Very high.
Yeah. So I went for a fasted blood test. It was about 13 after that. And then I think the hospital and doctor said, hey, okay, look, we're going to refer you to like diabetic specialists. They're going to follow up with you. So from there, they had to actually help me administer insulin. They had to hospitalize me just to like go through all the checks.
Yeah, so I think if I'm not wrong, what I've heard is that if you're above 21 or something like that, you gotta get warded for the night or something.
Talking about the sugar level or
Sugar
age?
level. Oh, yours is after HbA1c.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's still pretty high, So they had to ward me for a bit. It was weird because I was 17, right? And they put me in the children's ward. 17.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a bit weird. But the thing was that it was a bit daunting, at 17, having to learn how to inject yourself. Yeah, so they give you like the syringe. Back then it was
With insulin.
yeah.
Okay.
So syringe and vial, you had to manually mix the insulin like in the syringe.
Yeah.
And then you had to really like, grab your tummy and sort of like put it in. But it's a very daunting task because you're not used to bringing needles to yourself.
Yep.
But after a while, you do get used to it. Yeah, but psychologically, I would say it's quite tough as well. As a kid, 17, you thought like the world is your oyster, you're invincible, you can do whatever the hell you want. But turns out you can't. Right?
At 17 and so
Yeah.
like what were the doctor's first words when he had to tell you you're a diabetic? Did you have anything like a sit down? Okay, Wesley, this is a conversation we're gonna have. We got the results, blah blah blah. Is it like that, or was it anything special? Because mine was completely different.
Okay, mine was quite methodical actually. So it's just like, okay, look, Wesley, you currently, we suspect you might have type 2 diabetes.
Right.
We'll be running more checks. We'll be following up on your care and everything. So it's a very matter of fact kind of thing. Yeah. Why? What
Why
did
are
you
you
do?
laughing?
My doctor was like, I sat down with him, like waiting for him to come by. He sat in front of me and was like, yeah, so you had diabetes. And then my response was, is it? Thank you.
But how do you respond to something like that?
Like it's one of those things where you're like, do you look at it as a death sentence? Which I say it straight first, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a death sentence. Your question.
So my very first question is, when you guys found out that, you were diagnosed with diabetes, did that like go into your head like, oh my goodness, I cannot eat any more desserts, I cannot have too much sugar? What was it like? Yeah, candy, gummy bears.
Mine was more, okay, I felt a bit of like, the bit of fear trickling through your spine and everything, just thinking about like, hey, going down the road as you grow older, what's going to happen?
Can I walk?
What if I can walk? I like to eat a lot of stuff, right?
Yes.
I used to eat a lot of carbs.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Yeah,
So
true.
the common misconception is that, we cannot eat like sweet stuff. We can. We can eat anything we want, just in moderation. The key word is in moderation.
Just
Right.
don't go too crazy on it.
Yeah.
When it comes to your carbs, do you tend to choose like the brown rice option compared to the white rice? Because there's so many different types of rice or grains out there, right? So it's a kind of like a replacement.
What about yourself, Akshay?
Okay. So for me, like, I come from a background of doing food shows. So when I found that out, I found my diagnosis about 5-6 years ago. And this was like when I just hit my 30s. And I was already starting to do food programs.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, we're going to go eat this char kway teow place here today. We're going to go eat Indian food, a lot of biryani and all that. And I remember my first shoot, I had 10 different locations all in the same day. And we went from like different stalls. It didn't help that the last place we visited, right, was a gummy bear store. So after eating 9 places, right, then the 10th place, we're here at so-and-so and we're going to check out this international place for gummy bears. And then every bite I took, but I quickly had water to like rush it out and all that. But I told myself, like, find out where your limit is. Don't go beyond that limit.
I always think that sugar is like rust. You know what I mean? Yeah, and
Sugar's like rust.
sugar is rust in your blood system.
I honestly, I agree. It's very interesting. Cool. I did not think of that. That's a very good way to put it.
Yeah, so it just kind of like eats away at like your system and everything if your sugar is constantly high.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it needs to be regulated.
So you work late nights. You do like clubs and all that, right? Do you? I mean, working night shift isn't your typical. So I also work night shift. I do night shows. You do night shows as well. How is it being a diabetic for you?
I mean, first and foremost, supper, yes. I will still have supper.
Supper then.
In moderation. In moderation.
Oh.
Yeah, I will still choose sometimes. So, for example, something as simple as after I finish performing and everything, I can go to like 7-Eleven buy like chicken breast. Right? It's good enough. Or like if I'm hungry,
Chicken egg.
yeah. Or like if I'm hungrier, I kind of want a full meal, I would opt for maybe like bihun instead of going for like egg noodles.
There's a difference between Mika and bihun.
Yes.
Bihun for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you team bihun?
Yeah, team bihun. Yeah.
Bihun and kway teow.
Yes,
Yeah.
kway teow.
Kway teow. Yes.
So it's a healthy alternative as well. And honestly, working nightlife, I would say, has been a bit tough as a diabetic, because one thing a lot of people don't realize as a diabetic is that when we say we are tired, we are actually tired.
Yeah.
Being diabetic, I would say, I don't really remember what's the scientific reason, but we tend to get more tired, right? More lethargic. We don't have as much energy as we used to. And, having to perform,
We crash harder.
we crash a lot harder.
Yeah.
And at the same time, especially in nightlife, when there's a lot of alcohol and drinking involved, so people offer me, hey bro, come and drink like this.
Right? So you got alcohol, like listening to some big client. It's like really like you. It's like, oh man, you the MC, you the shit, man. They're like, oh, man. And then you know how they like to pour into me.
Yep.
Like you cannot like, siam.
Sometimes you can say no, right? Sometimes you can say no. So what I used to do is either like show that I'm driving, or like I just take out my insulin pen and just like, I can't take
Do
so
you bring
much.
your insulin pen with you?
I have to, because if I want to eat supper, then I have to inject one.
Yeah.
So it's a good excuse, but I mean, when I was younger, I still thought I was invincible lah. So I just drink drink. But I think now, as I'm older, I'm 30 this year, right? I'm a bit more health conscious, I realized that I don't take a lot of mixtures because a lot of the sugars are in the mixtures.
Yes.
And certain types of alcohol will perhaps be better for you.
Okay.
Yeah, they were saying, I mean, there's no scientific proof right now, but they were saying that agave, tequila, right, is good for diabetics.
Okay, so you know how in this supermarkets now, right, they have this label
The
A.
B,
Oh, yes.
ABC, and all that.
Oh, Nutrigrade is a lifesaver.
It helps.
Is it?
Yes, I honestly, I wish they put it on like food as well, because sometimes at night after nightlife and everything, I tend to eat better. I mean, we're not going to say no to Hai Di Lao,
Yeah, it's a reward.
it's a reward, yes,
For hard work.
right? But at the same time, knowing that if I'm going to eat something better or eat something more, I would have to adjust the insulin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And perhaps select what I eat. I would perhaps not eat the carbs. I'll eat more vegetables. I'll eat more meat. That kind of
Okay,
thing.
so with A, B, C, D, right? What is like the maximum threshold?
For me,
Yeah.
Towards the E direction.
Yeah, like is it solely you only take drinks and buy drinks
Like,
that
is-
are A?
Yeah.
Or is like okay,
Is C the cutoff point, or E, or B, or D?
for me, cutoff point would be B. But sometimes, occasionally, like for example, if I need a hit of vitamin C, vitamin C sometimes is like C or D. Okay, those kind of things, like once a month kind of thing, is fine, right? But you just make sure that you don't take it excessively, no?
So that's a very interesting point, because from my perspective, what I do is that over the years, right, I've really come to enjoy looking at the nutritional info, the labels.
Yes.
And one very important thing, if you look at food or drinks, right, I don't think it changes. I could be wrong. I just want to be sure on this. Is that when you look at the ingredient lists, right, the most amount of this ingredient should be towards the top. At the top of the ingredient list. For example, if I buy fruit juice and they say it's not from concentrate, or like lemon juice, like really is juice that's squeezed out of the lemon, it should just say lemon and not like something for sweetener, additive, whatever, something, and then lemon juice. That means whatever's before the lemon juice is majority of the product.
Oh, so that's how you guys actually do your grocery shopping.
I do my grocery shopping with nutritional info. I love looking at, straight away you look at the total carbs and net carbs. You find out what net carbs are when you take the total carbohydrates and then you minus off the fiber.
So what's considered like a solid meal, right?
Okay.
For you guys, because there are so many types of gatherings and occasions that you may have go out with your friends, your family.
yeah.
So then what's considered an okay meal?
Okay.
Like safe and then you can also enjoy.
Actually, I wouldn't say there is a safe meal.
Okay.
We can eat anything and everything, to be honest. It's just you do control the amount of what you eat. So, for example, let's say if I were to go to a buffet, right? Yeah, you can eat anything you want, right? But I would selectively choose that, I'm not going to eat a lot of the carbs, right? So I'll enjoy perhaps more protein.
Yeah, you don't just keep whacking the tau fan area, the noodles. You can whack like the teriyaki chicken or the chicken, the fish, the vegetables, the tofus.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's understanding what goes into your body. Like for me, if you put in more protein, more vegetables, and good fats, right, your satiety gets better. You get full better. You get a longer lasting fullness in you. Because I notice, like, if I just eat mostly carbs, 2 to 3 hours later, I'm hungry again.
Oh.
Like, it just gets, there's a spike.
Sorry, I have so many questions, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really need to ask. Okay,
Go ahead.
so like because now I consider we are friends lah, huh? Is it like a must know that you're a diabetic before we go and eat so that I can choose a place where it caters to you, or like we can go somewhere where if let's say I want to have dessert, is that going to be a problem as well?
Okay, let me just say first, it is very nice that you ask somebody who is diabetic that, right? Because you are thinking for them, you're thinking of them, right? Because they're your friend and you really care for them. But the misconception is that, we can't eat all this stuff. To be honest, go wherever you want, we will go along. We will adjust. So, for example, let's say if you were to go and eat, I don't know, like McDonald's, right? So, McDonald's for us, perhaps instead of having, my double McSpicy with seaweed shaker fries and other stuff, I will perhaps maybe get a grilled chicken wrap. Or if I want to eat a double cheeseburger, a quarter pounder, I'll just remove the bread. I'll just eat the meat and a bit of the fries.
Have you ever had like no bun burgers?
Yeah.
No.
Those are actually not bad, I will say.
So, like, for example, let's say if you want to bring us somewhere Italian.
Fancy dinner.
Fancy dinner in
Yes.
Okay.
Italian. Okay.
Then how?
Can I still can eat what?
Because, I mean, Italian restaurants mostly all pastas, right?
Yeah, but can still eat. We can still eat cups.
Oh,
Right?
It's not like you're going to buy like a giant bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, so I asked this because on my very first day here at work, right, I actually bought 2 large trays of about 100 macarons. Okay, and then only
damn.
1 week later, then somebody told me that, hey, did you know that Sean Rick's actually a diabetic? I was like, oh. So now, and at that moment, right, I felt bad.
I didn't even know that.
Okay lah, then never mind.
No, but
I didn't even know that you were on.
Yeah, I brought like to the office.
Oh, love you too, man.
But I think that's the thing. So people tend to sort of like pounce on that a little bit, where like, oh, you know what, the Sean Rick is diabetic, you know you shouldn't buy. I don't think that should be the case. Just buy
Just buy lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I felt bad for a while, but I didn't say anything lah until he.
Aiyo.
Oh, like I tell you this story like 1.5 years later.
I didn't even know, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I did another diabetes campaign as well, I realized as well that there were a lot of people that reached out to me on IGDMs. It was quite touching because they mentioned that, you know, they were very afraid to live their life
Oh,
as a diabetic because, you know, you need to be very sheltered. You need to eat only certain things. You cannot do this. What if you do this, right? You get injured, something happens. This, that. So they live very sheltered lives. They live very closed off lives. And
Like
when they saw,
hermit crabs.
yeah. So when they saw the content that I churned out about diabetes and everything, they felt quite inspired to start living. And I would like to really, you know, tell more people that, you know, diabetes is just
It's not a death sentence.
it's not a death sentence.
It's not.
Think of it as like a slight debuff.
Yes.
okay. So now you've brought this up, right? I also have a lot of other questions. So my auntie is actually also a type 2 diabetic. And I think one of the things the doctor said was, you know, try to make sure that she doesn't get cuts. So I've been told that when a diabetic gets a cut or wound and starts bleeding out, it takes very long to stop the
Longer to heal.
Longer to heal.
Okay.
And sometimes I think when it heals, it doesn't heal perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for example, I don't know if you can see, there's a small little, oh yeah, look at this. I mean,
Like I don't know. So I have like all these dark spots on my legs and all that. That's called diabetic neuropathy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a condition because of diabetes. Basically, your skin doesn't heal as well.
yep. So
The
same
blood,
thing as well.
the blood healing also. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very common. Other than the knowledge of knowing what to do in certain situations, whether it's eating, whether it's alcohol intake, etc. Are there any other like little tools that you use to help you in your journey as a diabetic? Because for us, when we check blood sugar, we have to do the pricking thing.
That thing, right?
But there's something else that we both use right now.
Yeah, which was what I was about to ask. Also.
Oh, okay, okay.
I saw it on your arm, so I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like the Libre.
Yes. So
Yeah.
the one that we're using
I
is
don't
called.
have it today because I finished mine.
Mine is in the room. So it's this thing called the brand that we use is Freestyle Libre. But what it is, it's called a CGM. And I've mentioned this on air before. It's a continuous glucose monitor. Usually you prick your finger to like read the blood.
Yes,
thing,
and it's a
then
daily
it'll tell you.
thing,
Yeah,
right?
and some people do it daily. It really depends on your condition.
Okay.
Whether I think for my type 1 friends, they do it daily. Some people, when I was first diagnosed, I was told to do it twice a week or 3 times a week.
Wow.
Oh.
Mine's like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, but now I'm more talented, so I have longer. But with the CGM now, all you have to do is to attach it. You can choose here, you can choose here, you can choose certain spots. And what it will do is that there's a sensor that's been pricked into your system. It doesn't, virtually no pain. To me, it doesn't hurt at all. Right? And over time, all you gotta do is use your phone, right? Scan, bro. I don't need to keep bleeding the whole time, man.
Yeah, that's the
So
app.
is that helpful for you?
Very okay. So one of the reasons why I completely stopped monitoring my own glucose levels was because very pain lah.
Every day, right?
Yeah, so you rotate your fingers, right? You one each, so it'll heal, but the pain is still there. So every time, even before I launch it, right, I will flinch.
Yeah.
It really hurts.
Sometimes you also tikam, see you zap the same spot.
Yeah.
The same crevice that's on your finger, right? It gets deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
At some point, you're thinking, maybe I should look for an alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I completely stopped checking my glucose because it hurts. It hurts too much, right? After too long. So I think when the Freestyle Libre came out, it was painless and it's easy because you just have to like scan and it records in a graph, in a chart.
So you can watch and then you can log in. You can put a log on, okay, let's say I pee this time is after before meal and then I pee again after meal. I can literally log it and write, I had this for whatever lunch and all. So you know whether there's a rise or fall in your blood sugar, what is causing that rise or fall.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So for a while already, I think maybe the last 6 months, I've been seeing a lot of people who have this white circular
They just
disc.
suddenly all become Android.
So it's a circular disc which is really like quite flat and slim as well. That I do see it on their arms. I do see it under the arm.
The
as
back of
well.
their
Usually underarms here,
right.
yeah.
And for the longest time, I was wondering what it was until you told me about it, right? And I was like, oh, that's actually an advancement in medical technology.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, in the world, and it's a struggle that I think you and I are facing also, is very hard to get insurance as a diabetic.
Yeah, my God.
As a diabetic, right, I wish that I had gotten insurance before I became a diabetic.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's damn hard. Like those integrated shield plans,
Yes.
cannot take.
Yep.
Oh,
Reject instantly.
okay. So your advice for any of your friends is to make sure that you do have your health insurance coverage.
Yeah.
Not
For-
just
and-
that, actually. Let me ask you a question real quick because we're already with diabetics. Is there anybody in your family that's diabetic?
Yeah, my aunt.
Are you at risk?
I'm at risk.
Yeah.
Oh,
As long as somebody in your bloodline or any of your family members are diabetic, you are pretty much already at risk.
Okay.
So what I strongly suggest to people is that go for like a pre-diabetes checkup. Go and find out because pre-diabetes can be reversed.
Yes.
Once you're diagnosed with diabetes and everything, you start insulin and all medication.
It's a lot harder because you technically can reverse, but you're more in that remission stage
Yeah.
versus like you will never get it again.
Yep.
Which is not true, right? You're more in that remission of diabetes. And on that note, we're talking about diabetes, right? Getting yourself checked, right? I promise you, if you're watching this right now and you're not sure, there are people around the world, majority of people around the world are probably diabetic and they don't even know it. So the best thing to do is to get yourself checked out.
Yeah.
Seriously get yourself checked out. At least understand where you're at and know what to do rather than be completely in the blind about this situation.
I wish I could reverse mine, but
I reversed it one time.
oh shit.
Yeah. When I was younger. And it happened with me losing weight, eating better.
Yeah.
I got myself to like a 5.4.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. And then I eat like shit. Anyway, so you can follow our journey as diabetics online. You can follow our socials, MC Sonorous1. My name is Sean Riku.
and Yumiko.
Yumiko. I also talk about it on radio on Kiss 92 Wednesdays. It's called Too Sweet. That's right. If you like diabetes content, please put in the comments below. So what else you want us to talk about? Do you want to see more of Wesley? Do you want to hear more of what questions the beautiful Yumiko has? And does she have any more macarons? Okay. Put it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do that thing. And we will see you at the next episode. Bye.
Baby, won't you talk to me?